let's connect then with Sanjiv Bhasin as well, who's joining in on the show. Morning, Sanjiv. Given that the big events seem to be out of the way now, what is the spotlight going to be on? Will it be on SBI? That exceptional loss clearly has been a big dent to the profit.
Yeah, good morning, Avan. Well, you will have to take it with a pinch of salt that SBI, actually the results in the last 2-3 quarters have not been as good as the other PSU banks, namely Canara Bank, PNB and Bank of Baroda. That's why I think SBI has actually not been able to scale new highs or give that. So I think it will continue to be in a little range bound. We have to understand that their pre-provisioning operating profit was above sentiment, but maybe this was a one-off. However, like I said, maybe the sheer weight of being such a large heavyweight will keep it under check, and I think today it could be a little bit of a weak starter. But if you have a longer term view, then definitely State Bank is one PSU bank where long term money should find its way. However, Avan, what has happened is that the market has been a tale of two cities. If you saw on Friday also, it's all about PSU, 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 whether OMCs, whether railways, whether energy, whether banks. And on the other hand, large cap banks are actually big time underperforming. How long this continues, either one will give way. Maybe we see a sharper than expected correction. But like I said, now the time for easy pickings is gone. So you have to be a little careful. State Bank may have set the tone that low cost deposit and low cost DIMs are here to stay for another 2 quarters. So we will wait for their language. But presently, I think State Bank will weigh down the Bank Nifty.
As has Paytm been. Sanjiv, hi, good morning. The question on everyone's mind is, of course, there are a lot of, loose ends, which I guess the management needs to answer, given that the regulator is buckling down on them. But what do shareholders do?
Good morning, Aisha. It's a really difficult situation to gauge. The management has come out with their perception. You've had a big block deal take place over about what 50,000, so 50 lakh shares. But I still think that the underlying business has got dented, and till they don't come out with clarity on how they have to perform. Look, the RBI is the largest supervisor on banking, and they cannot but come out with such a strong version unless there has been some impropriety as far as management goes. So actually we are invested in it, and there is it's a painful proceeding that you cannot exit because the problem has been 2 circuits. So we will wait for more clarity, what the management suggests, what the outlook is, and how they are going to handle this. Their parent business, which is a low revenue earner, will continue, which is what was. It's the lending business where they had actually garnered more market share. They were launching products which were extremely positive. Now that will take a dent, and that is something which only time will repair. There is enough value if you are a long-term value investor, but in the short run, there are so many other stocks where you can replace this. So we will wait for more color from the management, Aisha, but it is painful right now.
Oh, it sure is. And we will certainly wait for a little bit more clarity because the street has been punishing the stock and how. Let's also get in your view then as to how you're looking at the outlook when it comes to stocks like Delivery, PB Fintech. We did see pretty promising earnings coming in, profitability earlier than expected, festive season adding to the boost. How are you looking at this entire mix of these platform companies, Sanjiv?
Yeah, so Avan, luckily for us, we are also invested equally as in Paytm in Zomato and PB Fintech. And PB Fintech sounded extremely optimistic. They have kept to their guidelines. In fact, they have preceded their profitability. And if they are talking of FY27, the type of numbers of 1,000 crores, then I am very, very optimistic on this company. As a disclosure, this and Zomato both are in our portfolio. It is making up for the pain of Paytm. But we continue to be very long-term positive on PB Fintech. We think all their verticals, all the business prospects are extremely positive. The management is extremely positive. And it's a well-run machine, which is slowly but surely gaining momentum. Delivery, we don't have. I cannot comment on that. But I would definitely comment on 2 stocks which I recommended. JSW, which I think is a very, very strong proxy to strong steel prices. And Indigo numbers are very, very sweet. And if you recall, around 2780, 2800, I've been suggesting Indigo will come out with very good numbers. The stock has reacted very, very sharply on the upside. And, ride the play, because I think Indigo, as far as local, air travel, the marriage season, the religious, Ayodhya, they've got a booking till March. All that will play out handsomely because of their yields rising.
Yeah, absolutely. But Sanjeev, news this morning, pretty much in every newspaper, that it's actually Hyundai which is now looking at an India IPO. It's going to be the mother of all. What do you think it's going to mean for the competitor, that's Maruti?
Well, more dishes on your plate for the Indian investor. I think Maruti is the most well-run oil machine you've seen since its listing. It has, the return manifold have been extremely positive. And Aisha, Maruti is a pure play on Indian demographics. And if Hyundai comes there, they will be definitely, we know the competition is there in the lower end segment. Hyundai is a very, very popular brand. I think it will be one of the best IPOs in the present space, depending on the pricing. But remember, all this comes at 22,000, where there are no free lunches. Any little macro micro change can alter decisions. There is too much of bonhomie, which my experience tells me that we are in a very, very overbought space as far as the mid cap and a lot of the other stocks which are running like there is no tomorrow. So be watchful, take some money off the table, wait for good IPOs, invest in them, but stay invested in Maruti. Maruti and Ashok Leyland are two of our top picks. We continue to be very positive on these two stocks on the auto play.
Sanjiv, what are you deciding to do when it comes to an L&T? Because there has been a pause to the up move, and we've seen that be a little bit perhaps more prolonged than one would have anticipated. Good time to buy in, wait it out. What should one do?
So Avan, L&T has doubled in the last 6 months. It has been tripled in the last 1 year. What can you ask more of that? It is the best proxy play on infrastructure, with the hydrocarbon, electrical, and engineering being the forefront. Results as good as they come will see profit booking, because the prices have already priced that in. I would expect consolidation and definitely some accumulation over a period of time. But like I said, now most of the stocks are priced to perfection, and you have to be very, very watchful, because the side counters which are running up are making you, feel extremely missed out. But I think the broader market, till banks don't perform, there is going to be some weakness which can creep in. I don't rule out a sharper than expected correction in the next fortnight. So like I said, L&T will be part and proxy of that, since all good news was in the price when the results came. Results were in line, but expectations cannot meet everything from corporate. So buy on decline or doing a SIP is an ideal idea, but don't chase prices.
Okay, there you have it. That's the view coming in on L&T. Don't chase the prices. But
Bhasin Saab, first it used to be ISBT, but if I go to any airport, at least the major metro, the feeling is no different in terms of crowd. The difference is that when you are at ISBT, you are not paying money. But when you are at an airport, you are actually paying what is called an airport tax, and which the operator gets.
Good morning, Nikunj. Good memories you bring back to ISBT. Delhi University to go to play hockey, and how, the crowd was unbeatable. What a similar. But, Delhi airport, arguably, I think is one of the best in the world. You go to Hong Kong, I went to Heathrow, and there was 3.5 hours waiting. In Delhi, the custom officer knows me, and he, in 5 minutes, not because knowing me, but as a compliance, but it's 5 minutes. We are arguably the best airport in the world. Along with that, Nikunj, look at the footfall at the AeroCity. There is no hotel which is empty. That also belongs to part of GMR on the 100 acres which they had as an ancillary to the airport. Yes, the stock is run up from that 30-35 levels to 85, but I think 3 figures is going to be on the cards as we see Indigo, airports, Ashok Leyland, all these ancillaries do well, because air travel has turned from being a luxury to a necessity. And when that happens, there is a paradigm change in the whole ecosystem. So, and the ecosystem is driven by GMR and the better performance of the facilities at the airport, which I can proudly say is, I think, arguably the best in the world.
Okay. All right, Bhasin Saab, really appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us.